Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dan French. This is another French Workbench podcast here on a Tuesday. We got a full schedule here today. If you guys have not tuned in, and if this is your first time, this channel is the most real and behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs through on-job experience here in Las Vegas. And we have a full studio. This is Dan French. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my crew today. We're going to talk a lot about inflation on homes and how that's going to really affect us here. Inflation's a big problem. It's not just on the cost of goods and services. It's also on the homes you buy and also the rent you pay. We're going to talk about where Las Vegas is at as far as rents go and where they are, at on as far as on the charts. They didn't make the top 10, but rents are going up. And also we're going to talk about the top 5 new home communities that are coming on that actually made it through. It's the, I guess what it is they have like a national report that comes out. 5 communities hit in the top charts of the national communities as far as across the country. So this is something we're going to take a look at. So let's go right into it. Everybody out there, if you guys haven't subscribed, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and make some comments in the comment section. We'll answer all your questions. If you guys want to call in studio, 702-557-6176. We can get you started there. Also, hit that like button. We need to see some likes on this video. Got a lot of good information. Let's get right into it. We have Joey Andron. He's back. It's been a while. Joey, what's going on, buddy?
It's been a minute.
How you been doing, man?
Fantastic.
Anything new happening? I know you just closed, didn't you, on a house?
I did. Yes, I just closed on my house. Well, you did the loan, so it went fantastic. Smooth transaction.
We tried. There's definitely some things that we have to work out. But yeah, how's your new house? You love the area. You got some equity that's in there already, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was turnkey. The price has gone up. I don't even know if I should say the number, but yeah, it's gone up considerably since we got the contract. Yeah.
So we also have David Ramirez. He's back, and David, man, you were gone last weekend, right? You were here last week, right?
No, last week I was actually out showing properties to a new client. Yeah.
So. Yeah, you were supposed to be here, but you didn't. That's cool. What ended up happening, man? Did you close?
Yeah, absolutely. So I showed them a bunch of resales and new builds, and they actually love the new builds. So we went with a Richmond American over in Cadence.
Awesome.
So they love that one. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Dude, David's killing it this month. by the way.
Yeah, David's a really good realtor. 4 new escrows.
Just this month, yeah.
Look at you, baller.
Yeah.
Wow. We also got Sandy Geddes. She's back. What's going on today, Sandy? How's life?
Life's good. How's everybody out there?
Anything? Yeah, everybody's good.
It's hot.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. Everybody's good to go. What's going on with you? How's the real estate world out there? It's so hot, right?
Yeah. Sweating for those listings.
Yeah. Sandy sweats.
Sandy sweats.
Don't judge me, okay? Literally.
Hey, but you know what? You should put that on your card. No, I'm just saying.
I might. I'm actually thinking about it.
Are you really?
I don't know. It's kind of evolving into this whole marketing ploy.
Yeah. Also, we got Mr. His name is Preston Abel. Abel. Okay, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
That's all we got today. So just Preston works. Go ahead. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me.
Try to talk a little bit more closer.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate you.
Everybody out there, if you guys can hear Preston, please let us know. If there's any issues, let us know. We had an issue on that mic last time, but just want to make sure. Try to put it up here. So, guys, we're going to get right into it. So let's talk a little bit today about what's going on in the housing market, and let's talk about what's happening with the overall increase in homes. We haven't seen inflation like this since 2008. And if you look at homes, we always talk about this. This is like a weekly thing now where prices of homes are just going crazy. And I think a lot of people want to know, where are homes going to end up first off? We talk about, well, when is this going to stop? Also, is the cost of these homes, because they're going up so rapidly, are people losing their purchasing power? And also, are they able to even pay for all the other goods and services and things that they have to pay for on a daily, monthly basis, right? It's so these homes, it doesn't just affect the gross domestic product of people buying goods and services and gas and things like that. Cost of living and shelter is going up. We had it was over 14% increase from last year to this year. Motels and hotels, they're increasing on their premium, on their rates. And that's affecting everybody. I mean, everything from, they're talking about, you're looking at airlines, those rates are going up. Everything's going up. So are you going to be pushed out of the market where, with all of these things going on with this housing and all the things that's going on with the increase in purchasing, what do you guys think about inflation? Because we started off with deflation and now we're heading into inflation. And I think we're starting to see signs a little bit of 2008. Do you think inflation right now is a huge problem, especially for home buyers out there? David?
Definitely. I mean, we've seen actually the price of lumber has come down a little bit on these new homes. So we've seen a little bit of a fluctuation in the inflation. We're seeing some goods come down. We're seeing other things go up. So it's kind of a balance in the market, but we're definitely overall, the majority of the items are still going up in value.
Right. I mean,
So-
you look
Like
at
gas.
Yeah, gas. Let's talk about gas. I mean,
I don't want to talk about gas. It's
I know
depressing.
gas. It's depressing.
The fact that I have to budget now for gas is like really breaking my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I used to just be like, okay, yeah, I'll fill up, and now I have to actually like plan it.
And they said
Am I the only one?
It's not a shortage on gas. It's a shortage on truck drivers delivering the gas.
Yeah.
But that's
So that's what
good
it
to know, and that like
So
almost
that's the
breaking
big
that
problem. Let everybody know
$4.
what we're talking about. So here in Vegas, we're having an issue where gas isn't available at a lot of these gas stations, and it's because there's no truck drivers that are delivering the gas. But it's not just gas. If you go around and you look at these stores here, there's not a lot of we're starting to see where there's not a lot of things on the shelves anymore. You're starting to see some of the items that you used to see at stores like Smith's here and all these places. They're not showing up. And so truck drivers are now, I don't know what it is, but truck drivers, are they on strike? I mean,
no. Well, they said during COVID they all found something else to do. Yeah, right? They needed they needed to find other work. So now what's happening is, before it was a 12-month process to get your CDL license, especially because you have to get a special permit for gas.
Right.
Right. Now they're trying to shrink it down to 6 months, and they're trying to fast pace these people just to put drivers in the trucks.
Right.
So we don't have a gas shortage, like you said. We just have a shortage of drivers to transport it.
Yeah. I mean, I think
in that vein, real quick, I suggest we play a little game today called "Is it inflation or is it supply chain issues?" Is it inflation or supply chain issues?
Yeah.
So it's one of
It-
those things, because a lot of times inflation is the case, and it's just like, well, why is this more? Well, is it because of a temporary transitory situation,
Yeah.
or like, is it just more like we'll get through this, or is it going to be just up and this is the new regular situation for home buyers, which is something I think we're all trying to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a big deal, but we're talking about the housing situation. So I think with the cost of rents and the cost of housing going up, you look at the homes. Where do you guys think homes are going to end up? I mean, when all this is said and done, do you think homes are going to continue to, like, I feel that there's more inventory, and the inflation part of it, we're starting to see that, a lot of that information out there where inflation, I don't know if it's capped out. Do you think homes have capped out at this point and they're starting to come the other direction? You don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I was out there showing property this weekend with my clients, and they have a budget of like $500,000.
Yeah.
All right. So the only home builder that we can really entertain is a KB Home. All right. Now we're looking in the Southwest area, and now what KB Home is doing, it's kind of like smoke and mirrors, because they're not raising their base price of the homes; they're just raising the lot premiums. So you're seeing
that's builders across the city, right?
Well, so you have home builders that are, every time they release lots, they'll raise prices $5,000-$10,000 on the base. Okay. Sometimes they'll keep the lot premiums the same, or they'll raise them. KB is trying to keep their base price the same so they can draw more people in. But what was $5,000-$10,000 lot premiums in the Southwest are now $35,000 to $50,000.
Wow,
No joke.
$35,000 to $50,000 lot premiums.
Has a lot to do with the advertising, because the base prices are advertised online, but the lot premiums are not. So they can fluctuate that. And it also has to do a lot with the timeline. So they only release a certain amount of lots.
Right.
So they can control that by the timeline. So when they release the lots, they can increase them by 5,000 or 10,000 and still advertise the base price online. So it has a lot to do with it.
The question here is, as the commercial guy who doesn't live and breathe the residential stuff like you guys. So is this? I hear a lot about like a lottery system and whatnot. Is this kind of if you're not doing a lottery system, you're doing this sort of this other game where it's we'll just dictate whatever price we think you can afford, or how
No,
does
so,
this work? How's this work for
each-
a regular person who's walking through this going, I don't know what I'm trying to do, but I think I can do something new. What does that work? How does that look like?
Yeah, so
Waiting.
if you're just a normal person walking in, every home builder does it differently. KB does a lottery. So if you showed up in January and you put your name on the list, all they do is put you in the shuffle. So anybody who comes in after, you just get added to the pile, and they draw names out of a hat. So that's a legit lottery. and you can never really insulate yourself from the price increases.
I'd rather go play the McDonald's Monopoly game.
That's been a scratch.
Probably have better
Right.
luck.
Yeah.
So are you seeing the same things out there, Sandy, with the same things with the homes out there? Are you seeing like the same issues he's having with the lot premiums? Like, give us the scoop on what you're going through with these lot premiums.
I've just experienced getting super lucky with my clients getting selected from the lot premium or from the lotto
Yeah.
for KB.
Is there a lotto still going on, a lottery?
Yeah, that's what we're talking
There's
about.
Yeah.
tons of
welcome to the
tons
podcast,
of
Dan.
people waiting
Wow.
in line, and the unfortunate part is that they're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting until their name is called or
Yeah.
selected, and the lot premiums are going to continue to increase, and that's something that
It's not good for budgeting.
Yeah.
you don't really have any control over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
so we're seeing a lot of people get priced out of the market very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And this is happening. I mean, KB does it differently, but if you go with another home builder, you know, you get pre-approved with their lender, you get your placehold on
Yeah.
that list. There could potentially be a fallout to where you can increase your position and get a home quicker. KB is like probably one of the worst to go into to try to get a home for it. It's just the reality of it because it's like the unknown, right? You just
Do you
don't
guys
know.
have, you guys as realtors too, like you have like your list, your top 5 probably of like or builders that are like, okay, this is a good builder versus they're not going to really do much, right? I mean, is that kind of how it goes through? Like, I'm not saying
Yeah.
you're going to not take your client to them, but I'm just saying, going into it that this builder's probably going to do a little bit better or probably be a little bit more efficient than the other builders. Is that not true, or is that true?
You want to set expectations walking in. So if somebody tells me that they want a KB home, I'm going to take them and walk them through the process to see if that's something they will actually want to do.
Right.
Pulte does it completely different. You know, TriPoint does it differently. So everyone does it differently. So you just have to educate your buyer and say, hey, look, this is the situation. Which avenue do you want to go?
Yeah.
Speaking of TriPoint, someone just closed on a house.
I did.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Can we do a shot?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this shot. We should have been doing that before you got here. We should have been ready, pre-partying, right? We should have
There's
been.
celebration to be had over
Yeah,
here
we should have
because
some celebration. Yeah, Joey just closed on his house, and you were in contract for how long? How long was it?
Since February.
So it wasn't too. It wasn't
No,
too
it wasn't
bad.
too bad. I mean, I'll tell you what, the process was seamless. They're a fantastic builder. Lender, not too crazy about, but you know.
You know, he's got some improvement.
I heard he's the loan guru.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Is he someone we should work with?
I don't know.
do your due diligence,
Do
you
your
know?
research.
Yeah. I heard he has a cool podcast every Tuesday.
Only because people show up.
So thanks to everyone out there watching.
That's right. So, anyways, let's go back. So, let's talk about the inflation part of it. So, you guys are seeing inflation. We talked about Vegas cost and goods and services. Can you guys see across the country, across the city, where the goods and services and cost of food? We know gas is going up. All these things, is it because people now see that their rents and they have to have shelter, right? Rents and mortgages are increasing. So is the cost of these, like, let's say you're going to go and buy groceries, or you have to pay insurance, car insurance. Are these things starting to go up? And is it going to be a big problem? I think, looking at the cost of these homes and these prices going up and the mortgages going up, is it going to be hard for everybody to pay their bills? I'm starting to see, like I said, we were in deflation. I feel like now we're going to inflation. Preston, what do you think, man?
Again, it's across the board. I just hear about. For me, I feel it's very inflationary right now. Whether it's transitory, again, to use that hot word, is yet to be seen, right? So we'll look back in a year from now and figure out if this is just the new normal or whatever. But it seems like there's a lot of shortages out there. In my world, there's a shortage of labor. Working with a restaurant, I'm not even the ops side, but like, I don't know if anyone's been to a restaurant recently, but if you go to a restaurant and you get great service, like, take care of them. This is our town. This is like what we're made of, and it's hard. People don't want to go to work. A lot of people got very comfortable. Working conditions got very difficult. I can understand. Everybody got very relaxed off work, picked up crocheting or whatever they're doing and selling on Etsy, and it's doing great, and they want to follow their dream. I can't blame you. Go for it. Just sell a lot of them, and then don't go back to work. Don't go show up for a day and then not show up again. So it's a lot of people out there are making ends meet and going from job to job and just trying to improve their positions. I totally understand that. It's a worker's market right now. Do it while you can, because it may not be there forever. And settle in, get comfortable, and provide the best service you can. Like, that's what this town is known for. So
Sandy, you got something to kind of go off that, piggyback off that?
Well, speaking of not having enough labor, that I still have my job on the Strip, still at the Cosmo, and my job has doubled in how many shifts I'm working. I literally am on the weekends working like day, night. So like six shifts.
Tell us how you really feel.
Don't make fun of me, guys.
shitty.
It's shitty.
It's shitty.
Sorry to anyone sensitive.
No, it's all right.
about
So
swearing.
basically, it's
But
like this. Like when yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say on that is like, there's not enough bodies to go around, and like
Do the best you can with what you got, right?
Yeah, and it's
when,
like
when 9 people are supposed to show up for the shift and 6 of them do,
and that's the
6
thing.
people are towing the weight.
Yeah.
So, and
like
it's going to affect everyone. It's going to affect
But
the workers, it's gonna affect
what
the
value
customers,
does it really have staying at home? Like, are you like the unemployment? Is it like $300 a week?
Again, remember, this is an entrepreneurial podcast. A lot of people are home and they're probably trying to figure out their next move. Like that's a lot different than the people.
They're
that
stacking
aren't
on that,
podcast,
Stimmy.
Yes, I get
they're
it.
trying to figure out who's going to solve their next problem.
They're gonna be
for
putting
them.
a down payment on a
it's
home for
very
us
different.
with that stimmy money.
And that was the story I told on my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Property management friend of mine had a client of his, just their tenant paid 0 rent for however long it was, and then decided that they saved enough money and went and got approved for another home. They must have lied on their application to get that home, right?
Wow. Yeah.
But, hey, and don't hate the player, hate the game. I
It's
guess,
money in
right?
your pocket at the end of the day.
People get mad about people figuring out tax loopholes, and
Yeah.
there's some weird stuff going on out there. So it's unfortunate for a lot of people, and other people are making the most of it. And that's
But I mean,
the
I
joy
think
of life.
you got people back to work, but I think that is inflation really becoming a problem because, we all know that everybody's like, going, they're going to restaurants, you're back to work, you're going to the Strip, but is inflation becoming a problem where you're seeing these costs go up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, that was my
look
other
like-
point. Sorry. That's the thing. It's crazy. So yes, I'm working on the Strip, and the prices keep going up and up and up and up, and they see a demand, and they keep raising the prices. So it's like, how
Is
are
it
these
they're
people-
trying to?
So is it like it's more of a supply and demand, or is it like lack of transitory issues, or is
Both.
it
It's everything. right now,
100%
right?
both.
I mean-
Because, for example, like tequila was the shortage over the summer.
It's what's the short item this week? It's whatever,
Yeah, if
Used
they're-
cars has been on the list for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New cars, especially graphics cards, if anyone's other gamer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like that has just been impossible to get.
Yeah.
And why? But the big question is why?
Right.
Why?
there's
Why
different
is
things.
everything? Is it?
Once people hike their prices, I don't think that they lower their prices. So
Yeah.
Well, do you
to
think
go
though
to
it's
the
part of
inflation
because
thing,
of
yeah, I
COVID?
think- well, yeah, it's all going to be. Well, lumber I thought was a bit from Canada, and I'm no lumber import expert, but I thought a lot of it was from Canada, and they were not opening the borders and whatnot, and then all of a sudden that opened and that alleviated a lot of things, but. You're gonna have people in the middle just still trying to figure it out. Like, well, hold on, now I got my profits. I was losing profits for a month or 2 months trying to make ends meet, and now I
Yeah,
can.
I just think when you look at the overall situation though, like where you look at costs of lumber, I think a lot of these businesses, they're trying to make the money up that they lost last year in some ways. I really do feel that way. And I know that people are sitting on some money. So they're like, you know what? They're stuck in the house for last year. They probably got a ton of money. Hey, just charge them. We're going to make that money back because they're going to pay for it because they're probably frustrated that they were at home. Plus they got probably extra money saved. We have people that were on forbearance, right? Saving money, kind of, using the situation a little bit, right? And that's good. But it's just, I think a lot of these businesses are saying, you know what, let's just make that money. And you're starting to see this inflation number really start to increase. And it's really in contribution to the housing market in a sense, because I think the housing market and rents overall should be a factor in what your overall costs are. But I think a lot of people don't look at that. They just look at like, well, what's my grocery list and what's gas and what's my car payment and what's home insurance and, all these are just car insurance. They don't look at, well, is my cost up? Because it's not put out there a lot. I don't feel housing inflation is really something people look at as far as cost, what they used to pay versus what they're paying now. And are they factoring all that into their budget?
Do you budget? Do you do like a monthly budget?
I do.
you?
I do. Yeah, because I think I it's not that I have to, but it's more like
He's in lending.
yeah.
By the way.
Well, and that's true.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's more like I can't justify paying something for something that's overpriced to me. Like if I saw this thing last, year, and let's say the cost of something was, significantly less, I can't say, well, I see those pair of shoes or look at my, this bill that I'm paying, and I'm like, this power bill was $300, now it's $600. Like, I mean, what is this? Why is this happening? And I think you start to look at these things, but I'm not a person that's like, you know what, I'm going to overpay for something. I'm constantly looking at, what should I pay for this or not? Is it over?
I think another big factor for the inflation as far as it here in the city is the type of citizens that are relocating to Las Vegas. They're the California exodus.
California budget.
So they're they have about 115,000 median income in California, the people that are coming here.
Yeah.
Versus the median income in Las Vegas, which is only about 50 to 60,000. And the population here in Las Vegas was about 2 million 24 months ago. So we're now about to hit 2.9 million in population. So that huge increase in people coming to the city, they're bringing that higher median income into the city. So they're inflating.
They're driving the prices.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? You guys think that I'm going to put this here like this, so you guys see this right there. So what do you guys think? You guys think that Las Vegas is going to be a problem as far as like inflation getting out of hand? And I think that's where we're trying to get at. It's mini California. Is it not getting out of hand at this point, you think, as far as like the inflation part of it? We got gas going up. Go ahead.
Well, Joey had a good number of the median home price in California. And looking at that in comparison to here, who wouldn't want to leave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it going to get to a point where California is like, hey, you know what? There's not enough savings. I know what the taxes are going to be there. So if you're somebody that is a homeowner or not a homeowner, but a business owner.
If there's no opportunity, why would you move here?
Yeah, exactly. And also if the costs are the difference in the average cost of what somebody would want to pay, like going through the process of buying a home and going through the process of, am I going to save money? Is that something you guys would want to do as far as like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and move from California to Nevada, but the savings isn't what it was 10 years ago because inflation's starting to really show its ugly head.
But the savings are still pretty significant. Like right now in Orange County, the median house price is $900,000.
Yeah.
900,000. So most people from Orange County, they want to live in Summerlin because people from Orange County actually developed or designed Summerlin, right? So that's a big draw for them. 900,000, the median house price in Summerlin, you're probably looking at like right around like 700,000, 700,000. Okay. So there's a significant price difference. So they're able to cash out, have all that equity, come here, tax savings, lower cost of living, prices for housing is a lot less. It just makes more sense.
You don't think there's ever going to be a point though that because the pace that people are moving from California and these other states, that they're driving this market up so fast that it's going to be, it might not ever get to the point where California prices are at, but it will get to a point where I might be taking a second look at going to Vegas. I might think about going to somewhere else because there's not much savings.
No,
right?
You couple that with the tax savings that they're going to get when they leave the state. And a lot of my clients, a lot of the high net worth clients that I deal with right now are all leaving for that purpose. They say every time they go to the ballot box, they see more taxes that they're voting on. So they're trying to flee the state because they're going to save $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year in taxes, and they're going to save a tremendous amount of money on their home purchase. It makes more sense. Well, we're also going to see a lot of those businesses start to transition over to Las Vegas, because now we have more people. There's a bigger population to support those businesses, other than just hospitality.
Well, I was reading an article, and they were talking about when you have rents going on, and I'm talking about housing in general. This is not just about mortgages and us selling homes and real estate and financing. This is about people. It's about what's going on with people and where they're at today. And you look at where people are at as far as renters, and even the low-income renters, half of their income is going to rent because rents have increased so much in a small window. And you see this a lot, right, David?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because actually I just came off of renovating one of my personal properties I have as an investment. And I had a long-term tenant, about 5 years. They were staying there. They were paying $995 for 5 years. They had locked in. I just renovated the property. I put about $15,000 into the property, and I put it on the MLS for $1,500. It's a 3-2, 1,100 square feet.
Yeah.
7 applications the first day.
7 applications?
At $1,500 a month when I was at $995 the previous month. So the inflation on the rent is huge.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So being a new investor, I feel like the young Padawan, like asking Yoda, like what should I do? David, tell me. If I'm an investor in this market right now, looking at the rental prices, do you think
Well-
it's a solid investment to purchase a property?
It always comes down
rent
to
out?
how much you pay for the property, right? So
Right.
in any market, as long as you get a good deal and pay a good price for the property, then it's always good. So for us, as far as finding good deals, we can go to like NODs, notice of defaults with the title companies. You can still find foreclosures in this market. There's a list of foreclosures you can look at, probate, divorce, things like that. So I would suggest looking at those type of properties so that way you can still get a good price and get a good return on your investment.
What's stepping in here? What's kind of the availability of those? Obviously, we're not in 2008 or 9 anymore, so that's not like the normal value add. That's what I hear about. I stopped hearing about that like 2 years ago because there was no more value add essentially, and now I'm hearing like in my world, it's like, yeah, this is priced as owner user, meaning like, yeah, we're going to sell it to you like there's income, but there's nobody in there, and you're buying this because you want to move in and you want to operate, and that's your expense there. So like, how often are you seeing these kind of actual investment opportunities come up for the single family home type scenarios?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not like it used to be. There's a lot less inventory across the board. So that includes foreclosures and properties like that. So you're going to have to work a lot harder. I mean, we have the systems in place to do it. So you're just going to have to make twice as many calls to try to find that deal. But they're still out there. So we just got to find them.
Yep.
But I mean, let me say this. So if you look at how far these prices have gone up, obviously there's investors out there. We talked about Blackstone buying these properties. They're obviously seeing something out there that they can get the rents that they're looking for off these properties because they're buying them in bulk right now. And is it because of future rents, or we had this conversation last week about, are they buying them so they can keep people renting, right? They want to keep people where it's going to be so expensive you can't even afford a mortgage, and maybe it's a little bit cheaper to rent. So they're going to try to keep you on a long-term basis as being a renter. Preston, you laughing over there? What's up, man?
I'm wondering if everyone's ready to get real depressed right now because I just
Dude, let's depress us. What's going on, man?
So like real estate was one of those, and I'm gonna paraphrase this as poorly as I can. I'm sure. So essentially, like internet has democratized all sorts of things in a good way. It's also democratized things in a bad way, and it's emphasized. It's given access to larger markets to other people, right? So if I'm a person looking for a house right now, my budget's $400,000. I'm only allowed, like essentially, I'm only able to pay what I can afford, meaning like what my income dictates. And my income dictates that I can only pay like a typical mortgage amount for that.
Right.
That's great. That's what the bank allows for. So if I'm competing with someone and if I'm competing with an investor who wants to Airbnb this stuff, well, the Airbnb platform apparently pays better than what a typical, mortgagee would pay. So that Airbnb investor can pay more than the mortgagee. So that mortgagee's out. And then, you just kind of roll it up through there. So Blackstone understands that there's renters throughout the market or throughout the world that can afford to. It's like how do we maximize this rental value to more and more people? So they're able to draw people in from all these other markets and say, yeah, this is a great deal versus like most of us are operating in a very, very small pond,
Right.
And we don't have those type of people that don't mind just blowing $5,000 a month, which would typically be their dinner. They don't mind having an extra house that maybe their cousins or whatever could just stay at every third month of the year or something like
Right.
that. So like it zooms it way far out, and it screws it up for a lot of other basic people. And I know I've missed a lot of things there, but
No, I mean,
probably
it's
bore
fine. I mean,
people to
basically
sleep
what
and
you're
lost a lot
saying
of
is
viewers,
that,
but,
yeah, long-term things get,
It's messing it up for the middle class,
right.
like working class
we
people
can't
can't
compete
afford.
with other
Yeah,
people that are going to Airbnb this
Preston
to
dropping
tourists.
knowledge over here. I like that.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, there's other costs too to Airbnb, and there's other costs to you got to put all these factors in place. I think what it is though is that overall, is it good to actually invest in this market, right? And I think that's what we're trying to look at as an investor. And David says this, and look, I'm gonna talk to Joey. Joey, do you have investors that say it's actually a wise move with all the increases of inflation and everything? Are they even looking at that as an investment standpoint? Meaning, are they coming into it going, well, these prices were this way, a lot less last year. Do they feel like there's confidence in the market where they're going to just keep increasing into this year into next year and still get that return? I mean, that's kind of what they were looking at, right?
As an investment property, as a rental, or
Yeah,
as a primary.
doesn't matter, just in general. Like investors or even as a primary, is there a rebuttal coming from anybody out there buying a house right now because of inflation? And I think that's what.
I think right now it's more a fear of loss, and a lot of the high net worth clients that I work with right now are coming from California.
Yeah.
And they understand where the market's trending.
Yeah.
So they're trying to take advantage of it. So for instance, I showed a 6,000 square foot home in Spanish Trails today, and it was $1.5 million.
Wow.
That house in Orange County would be $4 to $5 million. So my client understands the value, and he understands where the values have come from, right, and where they're going. So now he wants to pursue that property. So it's kind of like where
what about buyers here though? Let me say it's not California. Let's say it's not Washington. Let's say it's not East Coast, West Coast, or what about people here? Is there people here buying homes right now because they're
buying homes, and like a lot of the local like end user, like first time home buyer, they understand that, hey, listen, last year I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to kick the can down the road. We're going to wait. We're going to see what this market does. And now they understand, oh my God, if I don't make a move now, I'm completely out of the market, and I'm going to have to rent for the rest of my life if I want to stay here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because the rents have gone up so considerably, and now the mortgages and the higher home prices, it's a moving target. It's a moving target, and it's moving fast.
What is the number one thing buyers right now? Because you deal with a lot of buyers. Do you have listings that you deal with? Do you?
I do.
Okay, let's talk about the buyer side, and I'll ask you, David, and I'll ask you. So on the buyer side, what are some of the challenges that you see or hear on a daily basis with this inflation in homes and also the higher cost in homes with people moving here? What are some of the challenges you hear consistently from these people?
Well, it's just a matter of getting a property. Right. So each property will have multiple offers. And when I say multiple offers, I mean, we're talking 10, 12, 15 offers in some cases. And with these buyers, we have to, if we're pre-approved for 400, sometimes we have to look for a house that's 350 because we need that extra cash on hand to bid up above appraised value or cover that appraisal gap. So that's the big challenge. It's just more competition. And that's what's driving the prices up.
That's the only thing that you hear out there that's just the challenge. And is it because there's not a lot of homes? People are willing to go to large extents that they, lengths that they didn't have before.
FOMO.
Are you going through the same process?
Yeah, definitely. The number one factor that I'm seeing is the appraisal gap, right? So people that are battling basically their reserves. So there could be 2, 3, 4 competing offers on the same property. They all have very similar offers. So it comes down to who has more reserves to cover the difference if it doesn't appraise. So that's the biggest challenge that we're seeing. And a lot of buyers, it's coming down to renegotiating the contract during the appraisal. But if you waive the appraisal contingency, you really don't have, any more skin in the game to renegotiate the contract at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing, so when you have buyers come out, right? And let's say, do you even take them out in the car anymore? Like, do you actually put them in your car and you drive them somewhere?
Well, actually I do, because you want to have that face-to-face meeting. A lot of times we meet clients that come from out of state. So that first initial meeting is very important. You want to meet them face to face, have a couple of properties set out for them, at least, 3 to 5 properties within their expectation, get a good feel for what because it's also a feeling out process.
Yeah.
So when they look at 5 properties that you looked at online, pictures online, when you go and look at them in person, it's a whole different game. So they see the area, what kind of shopping is in the area, where's the distance to their work, things
so
like
you
that.
get them in your car.
The first time I always do. I
really?
do. Yeah, because it's a filling out process with the client. After the first 5, if we make an offer on those first 5, then we can, continue to make offers on that. After those first 5, at that point, we start to make offers sight unseen because they have a good feel for what's going on now.
Maybe the client doesn't want to make left turns into their community.
No. I mean, I'll have a face-to-face consultation with them, but I'll have them follow me in the car. But also, I'm a terrible driver. I'll be full disclosure. I've literally had my clients multiple times following me, and then for some reason my GPS stops working, so I don't know where to go. And then I literally had to get out of the car and go to them and be like, "Is your GPS working? Because mine is not."
Hey, do you ever get those guests where you're like, "Okay, follow me," and then you try to lose them?
No. The worst part is you're like, "Hey, listen, since you were already late, now we're 15 minutes late to our next appointment, so keep up." And you're going to your next appointment, you're looking in your rearview mirror, they're at a red light, 4 behind.
Oh my God. Or have you had clients following you and they're driving so slow that you have to drive slow? slow, and then I'm like watching in the rear view mirror for them, like trying to drive as slow as
like
them.
35 on the 15.
I know, and I'm like, hey, keep up with me. Like, can you go the speed limit at least?
I didn't know anybody would actually put him in the back of the car like David does. I'd have to put a cage like a
You put him in
cop
the
car.
back?
No,
Like,
no.
I'd just be like, all right, guys, we'll
Spit
talk.
shield?
We got
You're
some
worried about the
airflow.
spit shield there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit there and just have somebody, because it's weird. I
Do you
think
make them wear masks?
No, actually, I was going back to that point. I actually don't. I've never put them in my car. They follow me in their car. But what I was saying is that the initial meeting, because they're coming from out of state, we've never met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what my point was, is that to meet them in person and at least look at 3 properties together.
It sounds
Yeah.
like
But no, they're always in their
kidnapping,
car
actually, to a
on the
degree.
GPS.
Yeah.
They're following me in their car. And every
Oh.
property, I give them the address.
Yeah.
I say, put this in your phone, the address, in case we get stuck at a red light. You guys know where it's at. So.
And at any given time, I have some sort of like papers or something in my car, like to make it look messy. So I'm always like stressed out when people follow me. I'm like, oh no, my car looks like so messy, but it's not.
Do you think people really judge you on your car like that? Like
Yes,
do
I
they
do.
really? They're
Yeah.
like,
1,000%.
hey, you got some stuff, like you got your shoes. Let's say you're from the gym the night before. You got your
Gym
bag.
Yeah,
Put it
you have
in
your
the
I
trunk.
usually have the car seats, for the kids in the back.
Oh.
Sorry.
But that's
Know
a
your
good.
audience. Just know
That's
your
I would be like, oh, he's a dad, Like,
Then you'd be like the do it all dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're a real estate agent.
he
you
really.
got the gym
I mean,
bag.
if you
works for
listen to
some,
his
not for
day to
everyone.
day, you would definitely be like, wow, you are
Yeah.
a super dad.
Speaking of face masks, so let's not get into it too crazy. No, it's like, let's talk about it though. So Vegas is going to start doing this again. David brought it up to me today that they're really making it where you might have to start wearing them again, right, David?
Yeah, I think they just announced in 2 counties in LA that they're going to, they mandate the mask back on. So it's only a matter of time. We usually follow suit with California, right? So it's really hard to say what they're going to do at this point. They did have a meeting this morning, and they were kind of just back and forth. They didn't say it was mandate yet, but you never know. I mean, it could be coming.
It's coming.
I think it's coming, and I think it's closer than people think it is, because there's too many cases that's happened ever since this has opened up. I mean, everybody's flooded to Las Vegas. How many cases do we got? Like 200,000 or something that we got? What is it? Some crazy number of new
no
cases.
idea.
I mean,
No idea. I don't even watch the news anymore.
you don't?
No.
Why is
No.
it? Is it because it's all negative stuff?
It's all negative.
Yeah,
You're too
It's-
busy showing houses all day.
right? I just think it's something that Vegas is going to have to adapt to, though. And I don't know. If I was somebody going down to the Strip, I'd probably just wear it just because I wanted to, contribute or not contribute to the situation. But I don't know. For me, I think it's going to be something where Vegas is going to open up again, or not open up, but consider
Mask
putting
mandate.
Yeah, on every.
I know the schools, because we're looking at, we get all the emails from our school for our kids. My kids are 6 and 4, and they're talking about making it a mandate for the students,
For the little kids.
the little kids.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, my son's 4 years old. They want to put a mask on him for.
I heard there was a big
4 hours,
challenge.
5 hours. I mean, that's not going to
Yeah.
happen. Not going to happen. I mean, a 4-year-old is going to take it me like. It's like flick it like a rubber band.
Yeah.
I heard there was a big challenge with Clark County School District, saying that half of them were okay with the kids wearing masks and half of them weren't.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a weird thing going on right now where this is a big divide right now. Some people just,
Democracy at its finest.
what's that?
Yeah.
Democracy at its finest.
Yeah, it's a big
People not
divide
agreeing
here.
and figuring out how to
Well,
work together.
I had a class today at the division, like a real
Okay.
estate class,
Yeah.
continuing education.
Yeah.
So this guy behind me, and there's no more social distance in Nevada. So literally had tissues and like was sneezing and blowing his nose the entire class, 4-hour class. And I'm like, no mask. So that's the thing. I'm like, I understand, you have to take this class, but
Yeah.
like, be cognizant. There are other people very closely around you that
Right.
are like scared out of, I'm the whole time, and I feel it behind me. I'm like looking and I'm like, he's sneezing in my direction, and I don't know if anyone else can like relate to those situations where it's like each time I'm like, oh,
Would you
man.
feel like that before though, COVID? Like, were you like that before, or was it just
a
because
little, yeah.
was it?
Heightened awareness, probably.
But
right, for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's having to deal with it.
Yeah, now that
Elevators,
we
how
all-
close do you stand somebody? Do you push the button for somebody else?
Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah,
do you, like,
exactly.
But I mean,
Yeah.
do you feel like this where it's more alert because of what's going on? Obviously, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
why
Yeah.
that's why everybody's got this heightened thought, like, oh my
Hopefully-
God, I can't get too close, and you know what I mean, right? I mean,
Well,
that's
if he's like sniffling, sneezing, and feel like acting sick, I was like sitting there just so like skeezed out. I was like, okay,
thanks for
well,
this warning, by the way. It's just,
I don't know. He said it was allergies. He literally like saw everyone like staring at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's my allergies. And it's like, put a mask
Take it
on, bro.
outside.
Like, yeah, like at least
Right?
cover it up. Like
Didn't we all have
sneeze in
that
the
moment,
mask.
like-
Like we all have done it. I sneezed in a mask one time, and
Uh-huh.
I would never do it again. It was like the most uncomfortable.
I think the masks are more toxic than anything else. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah,
See, that's real.
You're
That's cool.
breathing. You're breathing in your own germs all day long.
Well, if you sneeze
I'm-
into it, it's wet.
And if you see most people, and I'm guilty of it, you have like 4 or 5 in your car, and of course you forget to go to the grocery store without a mask, and you just grab one that's there on your seat.
Yeah.
You know, or you see people run the rearview mirror. You know what I mean?
That's the exact reason why. Because if you use it properly, it can help you. Like you pull one out of the bag, you put it
Yeah.
on, and then you throw it away at the end of the day. But 90% of people are reusing them
They
every
put
day.
it in their pocket.
They put it in
yeah.
their pocket.
It's
They
like-
reuse cloth.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
yeah,
like you
I
go to
do do
Lucille's
that.
barbecue and you got barbecue sauce on the next day, and you're like, all right, wait a second, did I do that? You know what I mean? But you got to put it on, right?
We are actually required to wear them again at night.
Are you really?
Inside? Yeah,
Just
on
the-
just
the
the
strip.
staff.
more in
Just
the
the
service
staff.
Industry.
Just the staff
Just the stuff.
is
Yeah.
required
I think that's where it's
inside.
going, so.
Wow. So, do your clients, when you're taking them out, do they prefer you to wear a mask as a realtor?
Yes.
They do.
Well,
Have you pulled this?
Are they saying like, Sandy, you know what? I'm a little uncomfortable with the situation. Please put a mask on. Like like they're not gonna be like, hey, we're not
well,
going to see a house, but
a lot of showings that you look at the selling agent is still requiring you to wear the booties and cover up and
Yeah.
take all the necessary
Sanitize.
precautions,
Yeah.
sanitize, and that's fair.
Yeah.
You want to be aware of everything. You don't want to infect anyone, so it's you would want to do that, but
So, question: When did this start to happen? Because I saw it slowly take over. I'm seeing it more in service industry. That's my first, intake of that. So, when do we know whether we got to strap up or not?
well, that's a good question. I think that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Well, they just announced it yesterday, I think, right? Last night, or they were having a meeting today.
They're having a meeting today. They didn't officially announce that it's a mandate. So I think it's going to be a process. It's going to be a filling out process to see what happens in California.
I
and
heard
it kind of takes it.
encouraged. Everyone's encouraged to wear masks outdoors.
As of
There was
right
no
now,
sign of like
they're
if you've been
encouraged.
vaccinated.
Even
if you
if
have a
you-
vaccine, don't worry about it. You're cool. It was just like, hey, yeah, level 2.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
deal with it. I'm
So
like,
what if we did get the vaccine because of all this?
Level 2, it doesn't matter apparently.
Yeah.
I guess
Oh, so
That's
I'm
where
good.
I'm going with
No,
I think
no,
it's funny,
no.
Like it's interesting. To
They're
see how
saying
the
there's a
media
new
plays it.
variant of
Yeah.
the virus, the Delta variant.
You guys don't
so the first
understand.
vaccine doesn't
Yeah, the
work.
Y variant.
I'm
Yeah.
so bad at shots. Like I literally I was the biggest baby. I feel so bad for the nurse who had to administer
I saw you
my
before
shot
the podcast.
because I made her lay me down, fan me because I started like fainting. I was like, please just take care of me. I'm gonna faint, and it was like the littlest shot, but still I'm like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. Like
passed
I
that
can't
one
do
off
that
with a
again.
splinter, so
Yeah.
I don't
get
want to
it.
do that again.
Well, let's talk about rents, right? Because
Oh
I
my-
want to say this.
What about that
Nice,
transition?
nice segue.
Let's go ahead and talk about rents. Now, let's talk about that, though. So Las Vegas right now is seeing huge increase in rents, and it's up crazy numbers. And we were looking at the highest or the top 10 cities that have obviously that have the highest rents. We'll say what you need to make per hour to survive, right? And
Yeah.
Joey's got some other information. So I'm going to start off. The number one city that I see is San Francisco. You have to make an average of $68.33 an hour, 40 hours a week, to actually pay for a normal living environment, or let's say a house in San Francisco. And Los Angeles came in 10th. You have to be $39 an hour. Hawaii came in at 39, a little bit above Los Angeles. So I don't know where Vegas is at, but I would have to say, Joey, do you have any idea where Vegas is at with rents? What this is telling me is it's crazy numbers. You got to make a ton of money on a monthly basis to actually survive. And I think we're starting to see that, right? I mean, you're starting to see rents go crazy here. It's following the housing market as far as prices of homes. Rents are going up. David, you got prices or properties that you rent out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you increasing rents right now because you know you can?
I am. That's correct. And so what we're doing, I'm in coordination with my property manager. So what we're doing, we're actually opting in for a 1-year lease. even if the tenants want to lock in for 2 or 3 years, in a normal market, when a tenant wants to lock in for 2 or 3 years, you're going to go ahead and take that because it's a long-term tenant. But in this type of market, we're doing 1 year lease because we can increase the rent each time.
Yeah.
So the three properties that I have, we've done $50 increases on all three.
Yeah.
And no pushback at all. So we renewed the 1 year lease, $50 increase, and they signed it and they continued the lease. So we're just seeing it increase.
Sandy, you got people that you were trying to buy a house for, right? That were they were buying investment. Is that right?
Well, actually, I was gonna spin off that because as a previous serial renter.
You were a serial renter.
Yeah.
Explain what that means.
I was always a renter.
A chronic renter.
I was.
How many years did you rent?
Too many. But each year they would increase it $50. And now it makes all the sense in the world.
Doesn't seem like a lot.
It doesn't seem like a lot. And to me, I was like, $50, that's fine. But now, like looking back, just for an example, I lived in this beautiful rental home, residential rental for 5 years and got locked in at like $1,100 solid. Like I was like, perfect. And I had 2 roommates. So I was like paid. And then over the course of time, it went up and then I was paying $1,500 and I lived by myself. And I was at the time like, I was just kind of like, this is too much, what do? I can't keep paying this much money, but they kept raising the rates and they were going to continue to raise the lease. So I was like, I can't, but as soon as I moved out, literally someone else was moving in. So someone will,
Well, with the rents right now, is it hard to justify telling somebody that it's better to have a mortgage or buy a home than it is to rent? I mean, is that a hard transition for somebody? Because look, people usually rent in the past because it was cheaper to rent than have a mortgage in a lot of cases,
but you're
right?
not paying to yourself. You're throwing money away.
True, but it's also a big responsibility, right? Would you think that it's one of the biggest responsibilities that people don't want to be tied into something?
But it's also the biggest investment, and
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I heard. I was. Hey, look, I'm in real estate too. I mean, shit. Like, yeah, buy it if you can. Buy it.
Right.
But one of the greatest things I ever heard, and it really changed my thought process on things, was like, if you're renting, you're buying freedom. And I thought that was really unique because, like, with the way the world's going, like, people just...
If you're renting, you're buying freedom?
Yeah.
Explain that.
You're not locked into a term.
Oh, a mortgage.
So a lot of people want to just do what they want to do for 6 months.
I see.
And then move around. And when you're locked into a year lease, which actually was something I wanted to get back to you, Joey, or I'm sorry, Mr. Ramirez. So, like, question, switching gears here, off the freedom back into being the shackles of a lease. So why are you signing lease 1 year terms? Curious if you've had any thoughts about the moratoriums over rents and all that stuff, how that's like,
yeah,
it's been really rough for a lot of landlords getting tied into stuff, and people, like I just told the story earlier, how they weren't paying rent and then moved on to somewhere else. A lot of those guys I knew moved to like month-to-month terms, and you're feeling like you're signing 1 year terms, which is great. That seems like a very good confidence in that investor or renter and everything like that. A lot of people did not have that type of confidence in renters. I'm sorry. So it's great to hear that, and you feel very confident moving forward with that. Did you have what kind of brought you to that decision, and what made you go that way?
So as a landlord, I always coach my tenants personally in my properties to become homeowners. So what I tell them is, when I screen tenants, we do a credit check and a background check. Make sure they don't have evictions, any repossessions, any large collections that are actually going to be damaging to them buying a house in the future, and I actually coach my tenants into becoming homeowners after the lease. So after, let's say 1-2 year lease.
That's the most non-landlord thing I've ever heard in my life.
The reason I do that.
With landlords and tenants.
Like, you want to keep your
landlord say, "Hey,
keep your tenants in there.
Buy your own place."
Yeah.
I've never heard a landlord say that. So
the reason we do that is it's kind of a win-win situation, because what they do is they have pride of ownership on the property. So what we've seen is these properties, they come back turnkey. They leave the properties turnkey. They have pride of ownership, because they either want to buy the property that they're renting, either the property we have them either think about buying that property.
Fantastic training.
Or buying another property, yeah. Dude, and the last amazing. 2 tenants that have moved out of my houses have ended up buying homes.
Yeah.
So you're using it as more of a partnership, which I think that was my biggest thing on commercial. Like I I loved when landlords weren't egregious on their requests, and they just understood that tenants only made a certain amount of money. If they could replace a better tenant, like that's fine. Like that happens. Some people make more money. That's normal. But I also worked for a lot of people that were just like, I don't care what they're doing, just drive more rent. It's like, man, I can't ask for more. Like they're not like this area doesn't can't make any more money. Like
I want to answer a question here. AJ put on, just because a tenant can pay ridiculous money for a rental does not mean that they're a better tenant that will take care of your investment. So what do you think, David? You think that's, I mean, it's got to be fair a little bit, right? You can't say.
That's why the screening process is so important. You have to do a credit check. A lot of landlords don't. They just go in, just sign. They don't even sign a lease. They just say, okay, give me the deposit, start renting. And then they increase more rent. They demand more rent. They don't understand that it's a relationship. Yeah, it's a relationship between landlord and tenant. And it's a personal relationship as well.
It's just credit.
So you have to develop that with them in order to have a good tenant. So the landlords that are in trouble right now, those are the ones that are just
assholes.
They're demanding more rent. They didn't screen properly the tenants. And now their tenant's not paying, and they wonder why.
Yeah.
And they can't file for eviction because of COVID.
Well, do you guys think? Let me say this. So, is the challenges though when you're talking to somebody about buying a home? Is the challenges when they're renting? Is it? You said it's that big jump in. I'm going to jump in and try to say, hey, you know what? Do I really want that mortgage? I think it's the commitment that you're talking about. Do they ever have a situation where you're like, you know what, this person's renting, and you got to not over talk them, but you got to convince them. I wouldn't say convince, but it sounds like a bad word. But you got to let them know, like, hey, it's probably better to have a mortgage, and that's the end result. Or is it like, hey, it's just not me?
No, I mean, it really depends. It's case by case. Every person is different. Some people are, 5 years out before they can buy. They have a lot of credit issues. And other people are 1 year out. They just started their job. They're starting to make good money, and then they can qualify to buy. So I think that's actually one of the good things, that I'm actually a licensed realtor as well as a landlord, that I can see those two pictures.
Yeah.
I can see them helping them out to become homeowners. And it's a win-win because I end up getting a client, selling them a home, and they win because they become homeowners.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I can increase the rent with a brand new tenant.
Yeah. Do you have the same issues with, you talk to a lot of people, right, that are renting. Do you have friends that are like that?
Yes.
That are on the fence?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And are they having problems paying the rent that's going on right now? Like, are they seeing these increases going on? So they're like, I don't want to, should I just go in and tell Sandy, hey, let's buy a house? Because the difference in rents, I mean, people, this is a big problem, I think. I'm not saying it's catastrophic, but I'm going to say it's a problem because people are starting to see that these rents are going higher. The mortgages are going higher because of the rents or because of the homes going up. So
you're not really saving money by renting anymore. My
Well,
whole
you weren't
theory
saving-
behind it
yeah.
was I was saving money and not tied down to anything. So yeah, for freedom,
just
because
totally
I
depends.
didn't
If you know
know.
you're going to be somewhere, just do it, live it, just love it, just keep going, following your dreams. I'm not telling anyone to not do that, but like a lot of people are like out there doing a lot of things. So I literally just left a place before this and discussing with the person. This is the second issue with her HVAC. So anyone who's an investor just hates to hear the call of, my HVAC is broken. Usually it's my air doesn't work. Or,
especially in the summertime, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time it breaks. It doesn't break in the spring.
Yeah.
It doesn't break when you don't use it.
Yeah.
So like she was out and she's like, I love my landlord. My landlord's doing everything for me. They put me up in a hotel, like all this other stuff, which is like, can you imagine like when someone's HVAC goes out and all of a sudden your rental income goes from like, rents are increasing, but now I have this cost that eats up months and months and months of revenue. So like it's all a pros and cons situation. So like that's what I say about buying freedom. So imagine buying a house and the inspection passes just fine, and then 2, 3, 4 months down the line, whenever it's summer or winter or whatever, when everything's rough, and it blows up, and then you're trying to figure out what to do. So like as a landlord, you grin it and bear, and you say, hey, let me take care of you and let me move you forward, and I'm sorry, and it looks like
It's you, yeah.
Well, my water heater burst.
It did?
In a rental, yeah. And
Every
it flooded
7 years, right?
it flooded my entire living room and laundry room. So it damaged all of my furniture. It flooded
you
the
damaged your landlords, right?
No, because it's my furniture.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'm
was-
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
So what ends up, what happens in that situation where if you have a flood like that?
It damaged the drywall. So it was more damage than just water, and it was like seeping out of the wall. So just a fun thing to,
Joey, you
to
ever
double
had
check.
you ever had a situation like that where you were?
HVAC and water heater. Anytime I go into a home, I'm like checking how old it is. You know, I'm like, oh, this is gonna go out soon.
Details,
Like,
right? Details matter.
yeah, I mean that's something I'm traumatized from.
Yeah.
That you know, it's
It
like
happens
something
once.
that's important if you're moving into a home and it's an original HVAC unit from 1994.
So how do you check that? Like if somebody like you just go out there and look at the year. When
I touch it and then I like ask like the gods. I'm like, is this one gonna go out soon? No, I'm just kidding.
if it gives you a couple of knocks, then you know it's like.
Yeah, no, I do. I like feel for it. I just.
Have you dealt with that, Joey? You dealt with somebody that's like, as a renter, you're trying to say, well, I might back out of this market because it's more comfortable. I feel more safe, especially when this market's going on where it's so hot, competition. Because I think it's starting to become a challenge for renters to buy into a home or get into a home. So they're like, well, maybe I'll just stay renting. But I mean, there's not much of a difference. So
No, I mean, we always do that rent versus own comparison and break it down monthly over the amount of years you might be renting.
Sure.
Right? With the mortgage. And it always pans out that having ownership is going to always weigh out. It's always going to be better.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're also building equity. Right? So you're gonna it's basically a stepping stone, especially in this market right now.
Is that a generational thing though? Is that something where the younger generation maybe can't see that? I'm not saying that people don't buy homes.
That's our job as realtors to educate and show them, hey, listen, let's put a plan in place.
Right.
This is exactly how you're going to achieve home ownership. You're going to gain equity in the home that you're paying for, that you own, rather than just paying the landlord's rent or his mortgage and having him build equity. And then when you're done, you're done. At least when you can sell, if you want to have a 1 year out or whatever your exit plan is, 5 years out, you can build that equity and now you can take it. You can travel. You can buy another house. It's a stepping stone to get you from point A to point B.
With inflation this day and age, man, you just got to rotate it right now.
No, I mean, inflation's a big problem.
Well,
right?
think about it. I mean, all right. So listen. So if you're going to pay $2,500, $2,700, $2,800 a month for rent for 2 years, 3 years, or you can get maybe a conventional loan 5% down or FHA 3.5% down. Take advantage of the market. You're going to build equity. Your payment's going to be just about the same, if not less. Right? You're going to sell that property. You're going to have something to take with you rather than just pissing away rent.
Yeah, I just think it's like this, though. It's like this. I get it. But do you think everybody's ready to buy it? I mean, it makes sense.
Nobody's. I mean, not everybody's ready to buy, but it's if you are ready to buy or if you can show a program that's going to benefit the person, then, hey, look, these are the two scenarios, which makes more sense. You can either rent or you can purchase equity, no equity.
Yeah.
Right?
So I have a question I'm going to ask everybody just because I'm curious. How did you get into real estate, Joey?
Real estate investment with my dad.
So somebody influenced you to get into real estate. Somebody showed you the way. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would you say that somebody gave you the opportunity and showed the green light? Is
Yeah,
that?
100%.
Okay. What about you, David? Same thing, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But I always had a passion for it since high school because I knew it was the one industry where you can make the most amount of income without having the least, the least schooling involved, licensing and all things like that. So
You hated school, didn't you?
I just wanted to get into a career quickly without having student loans, all this crazy stuff. And then once I got into real estate, I had a mentor, definitely.
I think it plays a big part. Did somebody influence you to get into real estate, or did you just, hey, I'm going to try it because I think I can be good at it, Sandy?
I think it's similar to that situation. Obviously, you don't have to pay as much to get your license as you would for traditional education, getting your bachelor's degree, and you can make. The sky's the limit on how much you can make being
right. I think it's more like this though. It's not about, we know we can make money. Everybody can make money financing real estate. It's more about, is it a wise investment to invest into properties? Like, do you look at real estate and say, you know what, I'm in it because I want to make money off of it as well? Like, not just.
Yeah, and this is so funny you asked me this because in that class today, they asked us to come up with our why.
Right.
And I was like, I have so many whys, but I really need to narrow down on my why. I want to start a family. I want to be, able to provide for my family. I want to have a flexible schedule.
Right.
Something that obviously right now is no free time. You guys know. It's
Super
like
flexible right now.
literally, I haven't even seen my husband in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Since we submitted that one offer.
Yeah. He's like, just submit it. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
I was
know
like,
when it's
I'll-
accepted.
Well, I told him, I was like, I'll email you.
But I mean, there's got to be something like they had some type of mentor, right? Or somebody that like put them into, I would say somebody that kind of guided them a little bit. Even though you had a passion for it, David, a lot of people get into real estate because they think it's lucrative and you can make money, but also they're in it where it's like they see the investment side of it and they like real estate and they're into real estate. Is that kind of where you're at too with it?
I mean, Selling Sunset didn't hurt watching it on Netflix.
Yeah.
You ever watch it?
What is it called?
I'm so embarrassed at this point.
It's the Kardashians meet a real estate show.
Oh, okay.
Selling
so
Sunset.
Did
good.
I screw that up?
Things that happened during COVID is that show,
Oh,
definitely.
you're talking about Kim K.
No, the Selling Sunset people.
Selling Sunset.
Anyways, no, there is a why. I'd always like been curious about doing it, so I had paid for my classes and everything, and then kind of went through the process, and I was like, oh wow, I actually really enjoy this. I'm terrible at every other class in school,
Yeah.
but I actually excelled in this whole process of getting my license and being like actually interested in real estate. So, but math I know we do use math, but it's not a good thing. I mean,
That's why they got calculators.
I'm taking a math class right now.
why we have these right here.
I know. I'm actually like still trying to get a different degree, and I'm in a math class, and I just got so upset that we had logarithms, and I'm like, what is this going to be for?
Yeah.
Like, so mad. But if you ask me about like commission percentages, that I can tell you.
Right,
You
right.
know,
I
like,
bet you know those commissions. That's how you do everything.
yeah, I could do
All those,
percentages like off the top of my head.
Why did you get into real estate, Preston? I'm just curious. Like, did somebody mentor you? Because I'm trying to get the audience to understand like why you guys do what you do. Like, why is this happening?
Well, the short answer is because my dad told me not to. And
So you went against the grain?
yeah, that's what everyone does, right?
He's
Dad
like,
says,
nah.
don't do it. So you're like, yeah, screw you, Dad. No, but he was also a mentor. He's one of my biggest idols, right?
Yeah.
Big construction. He was more on the construction side of commercial, so I never understood it. I just knew he was stressed out. As anyone who's met anyone in construction, by the way, I'm assuming they're stressed out. I've never met a casual, chill construction person
Yeah.
because they got schedules and whatnot. They're not like most people in real estate who can make their schedule whenever they want.
I don't.
Other people make their schedule.
My
and
schedule is
Exactly.
they
made
make
for
it
me.
very unrealistic.
I was like,
and then they
I want
have
your
to
client,
deal with it.
Sandy.
Yeah.
No. My
And they're
schedule
like,
is
I'm
already
just trying to
set.
hit this unrealistic schedule someone else put for me. you
That was
know?
my hopes and dreams. Okay,
Yeah, well,
Preston.
thoughts and prayers, hopes and
That was what I
dreams, that's all we
thought I
got,
could do.
okay?
I want to answer one of these questions right here. Beth
please.
came up here. She said, it's challenging for the young adults to save the down payment. They can afford the mortgage, but the down payment is tough to come with, especially if they are paying school loans.
You don't have to pay 20% though.
I think that's very important for people to know because most people don't know that.
I didn't know that. That's why I never
very difficult for people
purchased.
to probably like get a home without less than 20%. I would assume.
Yeah. There's plenty of programs. You have 3.5% for FHA. We have different programs like Home is Possible.
Yeah.
Right.
There's programs
Just
even for
down payment
3%.
assistance.
I mean, you got down payment. You do with a lot of down payment assistance, David?
Yeah, there's a lot of grant programs people can take advantage of. So if you qualify for a grant program, you're going to put zero down. So if you have,
is it better to
student
go
loans-
meet with a lender first or a real estate agent to see what you guys can afford for those people listening?
Yeah.
By the way.
It never hurts to
Thoughts?
talk to Dan French.
Well, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, realtors know just as much as me as far as the outside. Like when it
That's
gets in the
ambitious.
trenches.
That's ambitious.
No, it's true. Dude, I'll tell you right now, it really comes down to the agent setting it up and knowing about is the options even there, because then it opens the doors for me to come in and take over. But I just think that you go back, you look at Germany and you look at some of these other countries. I think in Germany you have to put down like 40% to buy a house. We're one of the luckiest, I would say, countries, obviously, because we're really giving incentive for people to buy with the least amount of money, least amount of really just skin in the game, if you want to call it. And to me, I understand the money's kind of a hard thing. In our past, we used to have sellers paying for the closing costs. They used to contribute, right?
Yeah.
David, you used to have a lot of that too, right?
Yeah, it's actually one of the interesting factors that Joey was pointing on is that they're starting to give a little bit of incentives now with the builders. I had just closed on a client with Richmond, and the lender at Richmond is going to give them $10,000 for the closing costs. And
Wow.
we're also seeing the interest rates come down a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's driving the market.
Who of you guys can explain PMI?
Professional mortgage.
What's PMI?
Finance.
Who wants to do it?
I could say it's TMI.
PMS or PMI?
Not TMI. Gosh, you
TMI,
guys.
too much info. No, I want to
mortgage
talk about
insurance.
something though, and you brought up a good point. So
No,
let's.
I
want to
okay.
say something real quick. We'll talk about that in a second. 5 master plans because we got a lot of realtors in the room, so I want to get this out. All right, we got 5 master plans that were in the top. We'll say the top percentage of country or across the country as far as communities that are really exceeding or did a high number of volume of business, right? So you look at Valley Vista, which is in North Las Vegas. They were on the top list. Inspirata, which came in at 27th, up 64%. You got Cadence, which is ended up at 10th place last year, 2020. You got Summerlin, number 3.
Yeah.
Summerlin. So these places, what is so desirable about these places? Because you see them all the time. What are the lot premiums for those properties? I'm sure they're like 100,000.
Well, no, I mean they vary. They vary. Well, they can get up to. Well, shoot, in Summerlin, you're over 250 for these communities.
Wow.
Yeah. So Carmel Cliff, they're starting at 250,000, but you have to offer. That's only the suggested retail price. You can actually bid above, and they recommend because it's a soft offer. So if you're bidding on that plan, everyone's putting in, we have to do a soft offer, and if it's starting point 250, you can bid at the 325.
Do a lot of your clients even go with you to make these offers, or they're out of state and they're just saying, hey, make an offer on this? Like they don't show up, they don't travel here and then set up shop with you and be like, hey, we're going to go down and make an offer. They're usually like, hey, you know what? I like this area. I'm going to go make an offer for me. They have you do the legwork. Is that typically how it works?
For the most part, if they come here, if they've seen it online first, they make a trip out here. We walk the model, we see the area, and then they go back home. Then we do the rest of the work for them.
Okay. Has anybody here sold a house at
No.
Valley Vista?
No.
Nobody. Okay. Has anybody sold a house at Inspirata?
Yes.
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 Purchased 2
Personal.
and sold many.
What makes Inspirata so desirable? I want to know why.
I love it because it's very family oriented, right? And the cost of entry isn't like Summerlin. For the house that you get, it's master plan. You have pools, parks, recreation. You have 2 charter schools. You have a brand new elementary school, shopping. All the commercials going vertical right now, and it's like the hottest place right now, the biggest place for growth.
Yeah.
Right. Being in commercial real estate, you might see some of it.
Yeah, I don't really like how they built that stuff in the middle of this.
Yeah, that's called the
way.
wishbone.
I think
Nobody
there's gonna
likes
be-
it.
I think there's going to be some accidents. Be careful in that area.
Dude,
But
no,
you know what?
The liquor store?
funniest.
You know what?
the
There's a liquor
funniest
store
thing-
there, so
yeah,
so
that's
you'll
the
be
funniest
fine.
thing.
You'll get through there.
So if
Those
you
are
ever
the
if you ever
first
go
people to
through
sign the lease.
Inspirata, it's like this crazy little roundabout deal, and then they put a liquor store right there.
It's like a racetrack right in there, man.
They
It's
knew
crazy.
they knew us too well.
yeah. Hey, but aside
Las Vegas.
I
from
think
that,
they're opening today.
yeah,
the grand
no,
opening.
I've already been there. I was got doing donuts around that little roundabout.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun. Okay.
Joey's at the
Doing
door
that.
going, open, open, open.
No, but I'll tell you, aside from that, I mean, the master plan itself is actually fantastic. It really is. I really enjoy it.
Okay. Have you sold anybody property over there at where is it, Inspirata?
Yeah, definitely. I think the number one thing is opportunity, right? So like he's saying, a lot of commercial development going on there, a lot of properties. And Station Casino actually purchased the corner lot right where the liquor store is, right on that corner lot. And they've already developed a plan to put a huge center right there. So it's going to be similar to a downtown Summerlin, a Red Rock, right in that area. So the opportunity for the values of the homes in that area are huge because of the 2 to 3 year growth that's going to happen in West Henderson.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. That's a good point. A lot of people don't see the fact that, and you know this, you're a commercial guy.
He's over here cringing. He's like, he's about to squash my dreams on my community right now. He's like,
I got so many
like
Debbie
it.
Downer comments and so many good things going on right out there. No, I think that whole area is so fresh and so green. There's so much going on out there. It remains to be seen what's going to happen.
Right.
West Henderson is coming up. Site plan's just coming out on that. That's going to be exciting. That's a very much of a. It's not going to be your typical development, which is exciting. You know, there's so much strip retail everywhere that's so boring.
Everywhere, yeah.
How many drive-throughs do you want? How many, typical Cafe Rios? How many Taco Bells?
Hey,
Costco's
that's one
fine.
thing.
That services people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like what?
I'll weigh in
what
on
makes
something.
What makes it exciting? Like how do we like? How do we want to elevate our experiences here? Like, and I think that's where those developers and those architects that get together and they really like put a lot of money out there before anyone else and just go out on a dream. That's what it comes out to. They're writing their story and then they get to go out there and hope that they get to attract a chef that brings a lot of value and money to the area.
Not Popeyes. Because that Popeyes is always so busy.
Hey, what you guys know
corner.
about Popeyes? Popeyes chicken's.
I actually love it, but it's always so busy. It's like everyone wants to go there. But
Every chicken place is, though. You go
Yeah.
down
I've been
everywhere
waiting-
you go, man.
I know, but
Popeyes
I've been waiting
sponsorship
for
here,
like
yeah.
a blue ribbon or something like like high-end.
That's one thing that I pray to the restaurant gods that they bring.
Talk to me.
I pray to you.
I mean, they
pray
just
to
put a
you.
Chipotle there, so I think we're set for a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
like St. Rose is like the freaking
It's a
fast
beautiful-
food,
of
like.
Inspirata.
Well, look.
But like in Inspirata, we
What
need.
do you want? What do you want? Talk to me.
What's
Talk
that?
to me.
So
Talk
in
to me.
Inspirata, what we need, we need a honey salt. We need
Yeah.
North Italia.
Yes.
We need like nice restaurants in
need
that
to
area.
Do you think
I'm a
Inspirata-
Bring the
foodie. I like to
Summerlin
go
vibe,
out.
bring the district vibe to
We
St.
need
Rose.
good.
Yeah.
We don't need fast
Because-
food. I don't need Jimmy John's subs. I don't
No.
need KFC.
Oh,
I
Potbelly's.
don't need like.
That's Chicago. That's
Oh, man.
that's me, people.
Give me some stuff that I can go to and like happy hour and enjoy myself, get dressed up.
You'll take
you know?
Dotties and you'll deal with
thing
it, okay?
I will
that's
say
all
about
I just want you to
Inspirata that is
That's all it
extremely
is.
unique.
Cigarettes and microwave sandwiches.
Is
So
what?
hot pockets and
Proximity.
Well, I think proximity is really good.
you're
You got,
close to-
right? Is proximity not really good for you guys when you're looking at like St. Rose Parkway and how everything is so?
You're
It's easy.
15 minutes
yeah.
one way, 10 minutes
Yeah.
the other way from
that's great. That's
main
fantastic.
Yeah.
freeways, and that's unique.
Yeah.
Because if you're in Summerlin, you're 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
hey, you know
away
what?
from-
You know what's nice about Inspirata that Summerlin doesn't have?
Tell us.
Tell us.
Golf carts. Everybody has a golf cart in Inspirata.
Wait, Joey, do you have a golf cart?
I'm getting one. It's gonna be jacked up. It's gonna have speakers on it, lights.
Oh, I could see
Over
you
under on
having
he
like
rolls
a
in
tricked
30
out golf
days.
cart.
100%.
You guys they should have like a parade with golf carts over there.
You should see dropping off to the elementary school. Everybody's in the golf cart.
No way.
That's
That's
the best way to top up.
maybe I need to move out there.
Hey, no, but it is kind of like a Summerlin deal where it's like I feel like everybody in Inspirata thinks there's somebody special. You know what I mean? And it's just I'm just like,
No, it's
Dude,
a
no,
fresh
wait.
start. It's a blank canvas out there because they keep building more into
just-
that open space. So it's a fresh start. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, it's so green.
yeah.
So there's a Facebook page for Inspirata, and everyone's voicing their opinion. So everyone's excited about the fast food that was coming into the neighborhood. So I
No.
voiced my opinion. Dude, I got ripped.
Did you really?
Ripped.
See,
Yeah.
that'll teach you.
People were
That'll teach
upset you were not happy with Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we have Jimmy John subs or like whatever, like
There's a
fast
Cafe
food.
Rio going up across the
Cat-
street. from
We have
Chipotle,
Don
like-
Tortaco or whatever. Whatever.
They got like
how do you
two-
say it, David? How do you say it, David?
Wait, if you haven't
get
had a
your
breakfast burrito from there though, you're missing out.
I did actually. It was pretty good. But I would drive to St. Rose. I don't want it in my neighborhood.
I know.
Don Tortaco.
That's what it is.
Dude, I went to Lindo
should only be in areas by, like-
Michoacan.
Oh, that place is amazing.
No, it's
No,
good
Michoacan.
food, man. I was service.
the view
decent.
is beautiful though.
Well, yeah, I went up there. I had like, dude, I might have one margarita, and I was already like tossed a little bit. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, I gotta have another one.
That was the first
the
restaurant I
$14
recommended to
burrito
my
is
parents.
tolerable.
It was the 4th of July. My parents were like, "Where should we go?" And I was like, "Go to Lindo Michoacan." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "You'll see." Like they went up there and loved it.
Yeah, the view's
'Cause
beautiful.
The view is
Yeah.
It's
next
amazing.
level. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's go. Let's talk about. So Inspirata, we've sold it, right? Everybody thinks okay. Between that and Cadence, Cadence has what I was reading is a lot of California buyers prefer Cadence. Don't know why.
You're close to the lake.
Is that
So-
what it is?
Maybe they missed the water.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Does
That's a
anyone
good.
have any-
That might be a good point.
Does
Lake
anyone
Las
have any-
Vegas. If you haven't been,
Yeah.
highly recommend.
Does anyone have any stats on like how many are available and how many are sold so far, or is
In
that-
Cadence?
In Cadence?
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing
percentage
new
sold,
starts.
essentially.
They're doing new starts. I mean, right now the whole west side of Cadence is grading right now.
They still have
So-
over 100 acres left. So they got about, they said, I think the last time I talked to them, 5 to 7 years left of growth in
Wow.
Cadence.
Wow.
Well, like their terms of growth, or like everyone else's terms of inflation and growth, and how we're seeing it, because
Really depends on the market, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 to 7 years of building
like
of
they
building
just don't
of building
plan on
out.
selling everything out
Right.
until for 5 to 7 years, essentially.
Right.
And how expensive it gets.
No, I mean, look, I think Cadence is, for whatever reason, it was desirable and it's in the top 10, right? It's ranking higher than every other one except for Summerlin. Summerlin's like 3. So I don't know, again, I don't know what the desired situation is, but you might have a point. Now you said Lake Mead, but we don't have any water in Lake Mead anymore. So
Oh, there's water. I think
You're at the
also,
bottom of the bowl right now.
Sound effects, Dan.
being in a master plan community is something that's really unique.
Yeah.
Because Cadence is a master plan community and Sparta is.
Yep.
When I lived in Southern Highlands, that to me was like, ooh, I loved being in a master plan community because
you felt like you made it in Southern
I
Highlands?
did. That was
Some money?
where my rental was, and I lived there for 5 years because I was like, I live in Southern Highlands. So excited.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because a lot of people like to be in that controlled environment, right?
Sure.
So a lot of the communities out here, I mean, outside of Green Valley and Sparta, once you get to that southwest area,
Yeah.
near that in between, that
Wild,
enterprise
wild
area,
Southwest.
huh?
The wild Southwest.
Exactly. You're in subdivisions.
Yeah.
So you have these little HOAs, that really don't control the environment, like as if you were in a master plan, like Inspirata or Summerlin or Cadence, right? So it's more lush. The streetscapes are nicer. You can control what's going on across the street from you. Like,
do they have
Control's the
higher
best
costs
word.
though?
What's that?
Control's the best word, because like there's amazing areas in like, what is it, section 10 or whatever it's called, where you like don't have an HOA, and like there's some amazing houses out there, and they all like got their own.
What about
gates and
Section
everything
8?
like that. Or
I'm just
Section
playing.
8. Yeah, well, I heard
It's nice
the
over
rent
there.
is controlled,
Yes,
I've
it's
heard.
very nice over there.
It's very affordable.
Yes. No, but I think you're right. Like master
Section
plan.
10, yeah.
Yeah. But is there like higher
You
costs?
do
Like
pay master plan fees in certain places, but
yeah.
it's worked in your,
It keeps property values up because
Their
everybody
HOA
enjoys
fees.
living in that area.
Yeah.
It brings up desirability, and that's why you want to be there.
You have a master
Pride of
plan in
ownership.
yours?
Yeah,
What is
some-
yours? In your.
Oh, so what's really
Strata.
cool? So where I purchased in Strata, we don't have a lid.
Yeah.
What, do you have a SID though?
No, we don't. We don't have either.
No
So
lid. No
this
lid.
this community,
I have no idea what the
it's in Inspirata, but it's annexed from the master plan.
Yeah.
So we don't have a SID or a lid. So it's a $68 a month.
That's not bad,
association.
man.
No, dude,
I mean, it's not
amazing.
bad at all. And I think
Yeah.
it's in a great location over there,
Dude,
too.
so when I purchased my house 5 years ago
Yeah.
from in Inspirata, I had a $15,000 lid,
wow.
Yikes.
and I went to zero in my new home.
In your new home?
Yeah.
So I heard that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I didn't say anything, so typical. Didn't know my fiance was here. No. So is it better to, like, if you have a SID or lid, or you're acquiring a home like that? I was told to never like pay it off. Like, it's not
Yeah.
worth it to pay it
It's
off.
not worth it.
Just roll that.
Just keep
shit
rolling it
down,
over.
right?
Yeah, it's 10 years. So the turnover here is 3 to 5 years in Vegas for residential homes. So there's no
Right.
reason to pay for it up front.
Right. So there's your tip, Vegas.
Do you guys know what time it is?
Shot time?
It's Sandy.
Oh!
It's Sandy, the weather girl. I don't
Market
want
report time.
market report
Weather
time.
report time.
Sandy.
It's like a market
Oh
weather report.
yeah, look what Sandy's doing over here. Let's get it, girl. Get it, girl.
Wait, you can't even see me on there.
Yeah, put your head down. Try to go. There you go.
Oh,
Oh,
but now
yeah.
I'm sitting.
I know that's fine. You could just point and you can kind of roll the
You
chair
guys all
over.
missed the robot. I cannot dance.
What's going on, Sandy? You got to instruct me. What's happening over here?
Let's just take a peep at the MLS for everybody watching this.
Let's peep it.
This is literally what we see as realtors. So, we are looking at the median sales price.
The median sales price.
for single family homes.
Okay, and I need to come up here and point my pointer to the top.
This we are going to see
There it is.
highlighting for June 2021. $355,000 is the median sales price.
Right here.
4 homes in Las Vegas, single-family residences. That's a lot of money. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's outstanding because everybody's making. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I think it's pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it looks good though for
Can you
a realtor standpoint.
Look at that chart.
narrow in on this homes for sale?
Homes for sale. Yes. Let's
This
go
is
ahead.
going to be our inventory.
Okay. Let's see what we got
Wow, look at that chart.
here. Is that growing? That's single family residence. Is that accurate?
Is this
That
a
kinda
one-on-one
looks like
course
a-
in supply demand?
That looks like a ski slope. Like I want to go snowboarding right now. Like and be like,
Absolutely.
woo, go down all the way down.
Well, is the weather going to be okay for that, or?
I'm predicting rain actually. When I was driving out here, I saw rain clouds and I was so happy. I was like, it's gonna rain again.
You know
guys-
what's cool is she blends it. She does the market report and the weather report all
Yeah.
at once. So it's like you can kind of gauge
It's
on what's
like
going to
a
happen.
ESPN or something.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I don't know if any guy in here has seen
She's
Mean
gonna get an
Girls,
offer. You gotta
but
start paying her more.
maybe someone watching has seen it and can reference me.
So let's talk. Let's
so
talk
where
about
are
it.
we at?
You got 5,025 homes. Is that right?
Is that accurate, Joey? What was your number?
No, well, that was actually that's in June.
June.
So
So-
July we have what is it, David? Just over 3,800 homes
3885.
Single family.
Single family townhome and condo.
in
Wow.
July.
All property types.
That's pretty good.
No, that's less.
This market is. I mean, we're screaming
No, but
right
it's
now.
still it's still increasing.
no,
though, right?
we're actually decreasing. So
That's-
if you go
yeah.
here, June,
So
June
you're saying
there was
that
more.
5,025.
I remember though, just a while back, it was 3,000 homes. Now it's what 3,800.
That's how fast. That's how fast these homes are going under contract and they're being
so
sold.
Yeah.
So it was 3,000, then it jumped to what 4, and then it's now what?
Now it's 3,882 homes,
Wow.
all properties across the valley.
It's
Wow.
not a lot. At the end of the day, the inventory is still extremely low. What is our
And-
where
and
are we
s-
at? Month supply.
Month supply. Let's do it. Month supply.
1.5.
What are we looking at, Dan?
Let's bring it over here. We're looking at
One, but that's
1.8.
still June.
That's June. In July, we're about 1.4, 1.5.
Yep.
so it's decreasing.
Is decreasing.
Can you
anytime,
explain-
anytime that there's new inventory that hits the market,
Yeah.
it is immediately absorbed.
Right.
Immediately.
Wow.
Joey, can you please explain what month supply is?
Month supply. So if we never listed another house after today, it would take that much time to absorb all the inventory.
Wow.
Wow.
So days
That-
on the market, right? Is that another one that you look at?
Yeah.
Okay,
We always look
Let's click on that one. So is that?
for
Oh.
single family homes. The average days on market is going to be
11.
11 days.
Wow.
Is that accurate? Do you guys see that happening where it's only 11 days? Like literally, I'm not just. It's not.
It's more like 11 hours. But if you're in that medium home price range,
You're just
yeah.
basically screwed then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe 11 minutes in some cases.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. If the house is priced right and it's a nice home, you got to come with your game face. If you are going to try to offer list price right now is only a suggestion. Okay,
Yeah.
you have to come in over list price, appraisal gap, waive appraisal. I mean, you have to be creative in this to get a house.
I've stood in lines to show a home one time. I was like third in line waiting to show this home, and I was literally about to arm wrestle someone. I literally thought about it. Like,
Sandy Two Sweats coming at you from the top rope.
I was like, do you want to go do karate in the driveway? Like, I couldn't believe the line of people. And this house had just hit the market hours ago.
Yeah.
And we were in line and we were third, and there were 5 people behind us standing in line. And I was like, who wants to do karate? Because I'm going to win this freaking offer.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys haven't hit that like button for Sandy with her weather predictions and also her market predictions, please hit the like button. Show us some love. Show the channel some love. What else you got for us, Sandy?
Oh, what else are we looking at?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the weather
Let's look
and
at
the
pending,
market girl.
What about
so
pending sales?
Yeah, that's where we're at in the current.
let's see the pending sales. Is that
June.
accurate?
That's
It's
accurate.
June. Yeah.
Wow.
June, look at that.
38,000.
Lots of homes under contract right now. What we're saying is, the days on market are short. Homes are going quick. If you are a buyer, what do you think, Joey?
If you're a buyer, you better act quick. Look, hey,
Pedal
listen.
to the metal.
Pedal to the metal. Look, hey, if you're out there and you're looking for a home and you see something that you like, hey, look, if a house checks 6, 7, 8 of the boxes, go for it. Okay, you have to act fast. You got to put in an offer. You got to come in with your best, your highest strong offer, appraisal gap, a wave appraisal, whatever you have to do. This is what you have to do in order to participate in this market.
David, do you concur?
Absolutely. When you're buying a primary property, there's so many boxes that have to check off. And if you can check off 80% of your boxes, you're going to have to jump on it quick because this thing is not going to last.
It's just quick. It's hotcakes, right? It's going out like hotcakes, right?
Well, that's we lost that one offer because my husband was like, oh, I want to change the cabinets. I want to do all this and that to it. And it's like, we, didn't want to come up out of the appraisal, come out of pocket for it. And we lost out on it. So things go quick, you can change the cabinets later on. It's not that important. I could have lived with it. Could he? Maybe not, but it's okay. Like,
happy wife, happy life, right?
we literally have that in our home.
You have that on the refrigerator?
Well, we have coffee mugs that say "Happy Wife, Happy Life," and I literally
that's his morning coffee
I
every day.
always drink out of the Happy Wife, and I give him the Happy Life one. I'm like, this is so you know.
What else we got? Market Girl. What else we got?
Oh, what are we looking at?
I don't know. Price per square foot.
Sales.
Let's do the closed sales, and then we'll do price per square foot. And I want to talk about that for a second.
Where are we looking? See, it's everything is.
That's a lot.
It's moving quick.
Look at 38,000. Pending sales was 38,600 and change. This is 38,597 closed sales in June.
That's crazy.
Look at it. So that's 60,000 that are under contract.
Yeah.
I mean, well, over 60,000, 70, 80,000 homes.
And the values are going up over 20% because all the pending sales, they're saying that 90% of the pending sales end up closing about 20% higher than list price. So you see a property in pending, once it actually closes, it increases the value of the subdivision by 10 or 20%.
So
Yeah, that's what people have, that's what people have to realize.
For,
That's the comp for the neighborhood.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I just got really excited because
Oh, I thought she was like, I
Sorry.
got something to say right now. You're like,
No, that was the situation because we were gonna pay all this money for that home, and then there was another home in the neighborhood, and it's like, act quick because once that home records, all the comps in the neighborhood are gonna continue to increase. So that's the current situation.
So I want to say this, and this is where I came in with some statistics on this. All right. So the first thing is, as I was looking at Las Vegas, which was significantly lower per cost per square foot, right? Price per square foot. You look at Henderson, right? Henderson had, I think it was $240 price per square foot. And then when you get to Summerlin, it was like $320 or $315, I think, price per square foot.
Yeah.
And Summerlin came in third place, okay, across the nation as far as the most desirable master plan communities, okay? They're in the top 5. They're number 3, okay? Why is it so desirable? Why do
Across
clients...
the nation?
Across the nation.
Wow.
Number 3. Why are they so desirable? Like, what makes them so much better than, let's say,
Those
Inspirada?
beautiful mountain views.
Yeah, you're right up there against Red Rock National Park. You have the downtown Summerlin.
Isn't it cooler up there?
Yeah, it's
I'd
10
like to
degrees
say-
cooler.
I'd like
yeah.
to say there's a lot of fine restaurants out there that are associated
North
with
Italia.
Which you're going to be bringing out to
That's
not-
Inspirada.
Hazel.
El Solito Posto is yeah, never mind.
I don't see the attraction. I'll be
Do you
honest
live
with you.
in Summerlin?
I don't see it.
Don't have to.
I lived in
out there, I'm
Summerlin
everywhere.
for 2 years and I loved it, but proximity was a killer for me. I was working on the strip, so it would take me round trip, an hour and a half to
Yeah.
get to work, And that was before the spaghetti bowl.
So going back
Before
to
the spaghetti
price,
bowl got improved.
before it got improved.
Yeah.
Going back to price per square foot, you want to take us through that right now real quick? The price per square foot on this. So we're back to the graph.
But this is just an average.
Is this an average for what, though? Las Vegas?
What you can do if you're watching and you're curious about price per square foot in the valley is reach out to any one of us and we can provide you with a map with details from each section of the valley.
Okay.
And show you what you're going to pay price per square
So
foot.
where's the $1.89 at price per square foot? Like, where is that at?
Like
so
by
they're taking
the
an
airport.
average. They're taking an average of everything on the MLS, the entire MLS. So that includes Pahrump, Boulder City, and these places.
I see.
Yeah.
So they're including the entire MLS.
Dude,
That average.
Pahrump is a sleeper right now.
I have a listing coming in
moving to
Pahrump.
Pahrump.
Agree.
You
see that
guys.
racetrack out there? It's nice.
I have a listing. I'll disclose this real quick because I have a listing coming in Pahrump. And if y'all are considering moving out to somewhere that's really quiet and also scenic and beautiful, then hit me up.
Sell Pahrump right now. Tell me what's about Pahrump that is people want.
I went to this bar out there.
Spoken like a true Las Vegas.
Hey,
True Las
Rice,
Vegas.
that's a good start. Keep going.
I'm sold.
Well, if there are females watching this, they're gonna be upset unless they're into that kind of thing. But the bar seems to be topless, and I was like,
The bar is topless.
well, they had
Did you
little
go to the Bunny
pasties.
Ranch?
Tons of dudes in this room know this.
Chicken
Isn't
ranch.
there a vineyard out there also? The Pahrump Winery. Is
Yes.
Vineyard.
Hey, the Pahrump Winery I actually went to.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it's good. They
I
have
know, I wanna go-
award-winning
I haven't
wine
been.
there. Believe it or
Have
not.
you guys been
I'm
to
a-
Napa?
I mean, but to
I haven't
you
been
could
to
fly.
Pahrump, so it might
You
be
could
amazing. I have
you
no
could
idea.
charter a helicopter into Pahrump and
I
go to
did.
the. Tell us.
I did.
That's probably
Tell
why
us
it
your
tasted so
experience.
good, actually. 'Cause you had that helicopter
The wine
flavor.
tasted even better when I got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
You
so
had that
Pahrump
helicopter
is
flavor.
still a hot market. Obviously, you're out
You already
there.
sold me though. You said
did?
topless and bar, and I'm already sold. So I'm gonna buy my home.
And she
my
threw
next
in a helicopter, like game over.
Yeah, and it's really not that far. You're just like around the corner from
Yeah.
Vegas.
It is.
so.
Yeah, you take Potosi, what is Blue Diamond,
Yeah.
right? Over Potosi,
Yeah.
and then you drop right into Pahrump.
Yep.
It's fantastic if you have a fast car.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's beautiful.
Moments.
Hey, Pahrump
Moments
is
away.
actually beautiful this time of year.
Moments
You should
away.
check it out.
Very, very isolated
Sold.
though, right? Very isolated, huh?
But if
Quiet,
that's if you
quaint,
want to
if
raise
you
a
will.
family out away from Vegas, that's
Yeah.
something that's
You want to see the
Without school
stars?
districts or something.
yeah.
Is it like Little House on the Prairie?
The listing I have out there, they have chickens, so
There you
kind
go.
of like
Do those
Little
come
House
with the
on the
house,
Prairie.
or
They have a chicken coop
question?
and a pig, so a little
Little
farmy.
farm to table. I love it.
They get their eggs straight from there.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I would too.
I got eggs from
I don't
there.
want to play those inflation prices. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get eggs from you for free. Just
All
work
right.
that into my commission. It's fine.
Going back to Sandy Sweats. What's going on? Anything else?
We pretty much covered this part of the MLS market report.
Yes. Explain to the audience
Weather-wise-
why you got that name though. It's because it's hot. It's only summertime name. So just
God,
tell
it's
us.
so bad.
Tell
you
us
guys.
the name of why this happened in the summertime, right?
Because I will sweat for your listing. I will go out and door knock, and I will come to your home, and I'll be sweating. Preston doesn't know this yet, but he's
The
looking
most
at me like
beautiful,
judging.
honest thing I've ever heard of
Is
my
anyone
life,
else judging me
honestly.
out here?
No, listen.
I
That's my
respect you
slogan.
more. I had no idea this whole time.
What
And
Sandy
I've been
Sweats
spotting
means?
your armpits, and I have not seen a single sweat. I've not seen
I
any
mean, it's
sweat.
hot, but it's like,
She keeps it tight.
Sandy Pits.
ew, you guys. Oh, God.
Hey, I'd buy from you if you put on your card Sandy Sweats. I'm gonna buy a
No,
home from you.
Sandy Sweats for your listing.
I was
That's what I'm
hoping-
talking about.
I thought you were selling
I love it.
sweatpants.
I love
It
it,
means
man.
I will
was
go
excited
to
about
any
the
length
sweatpants.
for you, including being uncomfortably hot.
We got anything else on the market rundown or market update here?
I mean, you pretty much covered. This is exactly what we see when we look at the MLS.
yeah.
So, as a weather girl, MLS.
How do you
Wait,
guys?
wait. Well, look at that right there. It says June 21, $189.
Uh huh.
Right? Up
increase
12%,
percentage.
11.8%,
Yeah.
and climbing.
So what does that tell you out there? Buy now, right?
The prices are going up.
Now, is there a point though? Listen, because I think there's a lot of people out there that think realtors are biased, right? And
But we're seeing it firsthand.
well, it's true, right? But here's the deal. So you got to go both sides. It can't just be, well, everybody's in a position to buy, and this is the right time to buy, because I think a lot of people. Well, I think a lot of people.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Can Joey give his sit on the sideline TED talk? If you sit on the sideline, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah, well, we've seen that firsthand. So do you mind?
Please.
I have to pay
No, after
4
you.
installments of $19.99.
No, so we actually, so Sandy actually has a client, right? And
Yeah.
this was what, last year?
February
February
2021.
of this year, okay? So they wanted to buy a home. We were, trying to educate them on the market, and they had a perfect opportunity to purchase this home. And they went down to the cosmetics of the home, and we try to educate them on the market. Hey, listen, this is what's happening in the market right now. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for you guys. It's a starter home. Use this as a stepping stone. Live here for a year and a half. Use it. Move up. Okay.
Sure.
So they didn't listen. They completely missed out on the opportunity. Completely got priced out of the market. They're still in the market to purchase right now, but now they cannot get a home. We pulled the comparables today. They were offering $315,000 on this home, and it was going to get accepted, but they couldn't come to terms on the cosmetics of the property. Today we pulled the comparables. How much was the price? $250 per square foot, and that brought us over to $450,000.
Yeah.
Don't step over dollars to pick up pennies, folks.
$315,000, $450,000 today
You got to pay me $1 every time you
on the
get
Oh,
comparables.
I love that.
So they missed out on a tremendous opportunity. So if you're in the market, this market is not pulling back anytime soon.
Yeah.
110%. There's too many buyers. We have over 70 pre-approved buyers right now on our team with pre-approvals in hand that we are trying to place into properties.
Well, Ver put out a good point, so we're going to give a shout out to Ver. He's a client of both of ours, actually. How do you miss out though when builders not letting you buy a house and have wait lists? Makes no sense. Need a cheat code or something. So, I mean, a lot of people are going through that right now where they want to buy, they know it's the right market, but they're on a wait list and they're frustrated. So does that just push them out and say, you know what, like you said, on the sidelines, do you hold tight or
Maybe
do you
we
just
just need
come
to
out?
show up with a fruit basket.
Yeah.
So is it really
A bottle
about
of Dom.
so is it about who you know? Is that what it
Well,
is?
Well, the thing is this. Like, yes, it is about who you know and where the opportunities lie as far as how many people are on a specific wait list, because every builder does it differently, like we already discussed.
As we found out.
Right. So if you're looking for something very specific and you're on a wait list, the problem is right now is that when you get pre-approved with a lender who has a specific wait list, that is your place hold on that date. And that is corporate. It's not the salesperson. It goes through the lender and they get your place hold through corporate.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. And then when they go down the list, right now they're only releasing 3 to 5 home sites per month, but it's plan specific.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a plan 3 or different plan, maybe there's only one lot that's going to be released for that plan, but you have 10 people ahead of you, right? It's very fluid. Some people fall off the list. Some people find something else to buy, or they switch to a different plan because they want something sooner.
Yeah.
So you can advance, but it's the builder who's releasing the lots because of construction timelines. They can't find the people to work. There's delays on windows, construction materials, and things like that. So every builder works differently, but those are the challenges. So the thing is right now, 3 to 5 years is a turnover here in Las Vegas. If you're okay with looking at a resale, something that's a little bit newer, there's always opportunity. But if you're looking for something specific and you want that specific product, there's a process to it, which is kind of challenging.
So
Respect the process,
it's a pretty.
is what
It sounds
you're saying.
Trust the process.
trust the process, right? Now let's compare that to an.
I love you, Ver. You know I love you, buddy.
So Ver, are you still? We should ask him a question, or he should call in for a question, man. We need some people to call in.
So he's the best.
Yeah.
Ver, call in, buddy.
Call in, buddy.
Give him
702-557-6176.
That's
Ver,
it.
give us a call, Ver. Let us know what your thoughts are. he will
If
call
you
in, man.
accept
He's a
that answer, or
good
you
dude.
Just totally hate Joey's answer.
No, but
let him know. Let him
compare-
know.
Go ahead, David.
That's another good point. Is it really matters if you hire an agent to help you look for new homes as well, because you have to have an experienced agent helping you out, because you're going to be looking for properties, a needle in a haystack, basically. If you're out by yourself looking for new homes, you're not going to know which subdivisions to go to, and which new home builders are going to have standing inventory and things like that. So an experienced agent is going to be able to have the contacts in place. We've already sold homes in those subdivisions, so we have personal relationships with these agents that are in those homes. So we can easily shoot them a text. Hey, you know what? I got a client, 400,000. They want cadence. Do you have anything?
Right.
And we can get an immediate response. In this type of market, that's the quick response that you need.
So is that different from, let's say, new versus existing home? Oh, we got a caller. Hold on, let's get this caller in. Hi, you've reached the French Workbench Podcast hotline. This is Dan. Who's this? Hello. Stand by. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
There he is. What's going on, buddy? Who's this?
You know who it is.
Is this Is this Bear?
Yeah, it is.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? You got Joey, you got everybody in here, man. You
What's
got
going on, man?
Oh, I know. I've been watching for the last half an hour or so, and then y'all called me up, so I got to call in.
Hey, man. we really love the help you're giving us on this call, and also just the constant updates and stuff that you're putting out in a lot of these comments, man. So we appreciate you. You got any comment or any question for Joey or David over here, any realtor out there right now? I mean, because we got 4 of them in this room right now, man.
Oh, I know. I mean, if you're seeing my comments in the chat, right? So
Yeah.
Joey's been, back and forth. I check with him every once in a while. I'm not every day kind of thing anymore because, we're being patient. Trusting the process is exactly what he said. So if you're in chat and you haven't already destroyed the like button or subscribe,
There you go.
because
Smash
that
it.
But yeah, no questions. Just we're right now because you were talking about Inspirata earlier, so that really piqued our interest. And my fiance's here too, listening. So yeah, we see what's going on there. That's where we're trying to purchase a home. We have some requirements in that community that Joey just closed on. We're going to be maybe neighbors, right? So that's where we're looking at. We have tried the market in terms of resale, but we put out one offer, I think a month or so ago. Didn't work out.
Right.
I saw the price on that picked up a little bit. It's still on the MLS, though. It's been like 2.5 months, which is weird to me, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, we're here trying to, obviously, Joey has been working with you for a while. So you guys actually got a new home, right? Joey hooked you up, or he's got you on a waiting list. Is that right?
Yeah. We're on a waiting list. I texted him today. We're just about 10 or 11 on the list. So we're waiting. So it could be 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, so when are you guys supposed to actually get this started? Are you started, or are you still? Obviously, it's still in a holding pattern, right? So when is this thing going to actually come full circle, where you guys are actually going to start moving towards breaking ground? I mean, did they give you any option for that?
Not even yet. Yeah. So we're still on the wait list. We're waiting them to release lots, all that. So we've been on that list since like end of April or May.
Yeah.
And I think that's just been the case with Arden and Strata. They just haven't been releasing lots.
Did Joey didn't show up with the Dom then, the bottle? Because if he would have showed up with that, I think you would already got a house, man.
Oh man,
that's a big mistake, but you know what? He's gonna make it up, man. He's gonna get you going. So, Joey, you got anything else to say, man?
No, listen, hey, I really appreciate your patience. You know that we're working on this for you, and I'm on the guys over there at Strata and Arden.
Yeah.
So we know where you're at. So trust me, we will get you a home over there, and you will be my neighbor. I promise you. I promise you. Pool parties in 2022, buddy. I got you.
Hey, what's that?
I just want you to get paid, man. You know what it is.
Oh, dude.
See that, man? That's motivation.
That's
right
my
there.
boy right there.
What's that one? I just want you to be my neighbor. What's that? Who says that?
Is that Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers.
All right, man. Bear, we appreciate you, man. You got anything else to say? Anybody else? Everybody's on standby, so you got anything else to say to anybody in here?
No, man. Just thank you for the content. Doing this, twice a week. It's really educational. It's priming us up for when we actually get out there. So
See? I love it, man.
Yeah.
Bear, you're a good dude, man. I appreciate
you're
you
my
calling
man.
in.
Yeah, I keep it 100.
Oh yeah, you do,
100.
man. 100. And we're gonna send that little heart right back to you, man. That love right there said love you.
The love is
We're
sent.
all telling you love you right now, buddy.
There you go. And by the way, there's an 80% chance it's already raining. I got that joke earlier.
Oh my god. I love that. Thank you so much, because I felt so dumb after I said. I was like, probably anyone watching this is going to be like, what?
You're right.
Is it raining for real though? Because that would be amazing.
No.
Oh man. Well, thank you for helping me out.
Bear, we appreciate it, man. We'll see you. I'm sure we'll talk soon, and keep paying attention to our shows. We appreciate it, and Joey will be back on. Everybody's gonna be back on, man. So appreciate the support.
No problem, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
talk to you later,
you.
man. Dude, I love Ver, man. He's a good dude. So
he's awesome.
We're going to finish this up, guys. Anything else you guys have to say about the housing market? I want everybody to kind of give their thoughts at the end of all this. Also, too, man, if you guys got your own website or you got a website that somebody can hook up with you on, because there's certain people that have certain niches, I want you to kind of like push yourself or push your individual situation. So we'll start with you, Joey. What's going on with that, man? Anything else you got to say?
No, well, I mean, I think we covered everything. You know, the market's hot right now, and you know, with everything going on, I don't see it really slowing down. The amount of buyers that we have, low inventory. So if you guys are serious buyers, hit us up. We'd love to hit.
How does somebody get a hold of you, man? Like, you got a website? What's your number? Like, I don't want to throw out your number, but what's your web?
Come on, man.
Throw your number.
Get my digits. Get the digits, buddy. My digits are
Can I get your number? Sorry.
702-608-2220.
Look at that.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be like 702-460-HOME.
No, hit us up. Hit us up. No, we would love to take care of you guys.
That's your phone number. David, sell me, man.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting time, exciting market. I mean, if you're a buyer out there, we can definitely help you out. If you're a seller, we can help you with the listings as well. As far as I have a website, it's davidchristianrealtor.com. So you can go on there. I have testimonials, the bio, my contact information is there. Also, Spanish-speaking clients. So I can help out the Hispanic clients in all the markets. So.
But you have an OnlyFans page too, right?
I do, yeah. You can click on the link on the bottom. Just kidding.
I was going to say, David gets it done. That should be your slogan.
That's
the slogan on the top. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And David's really good with investment properties. He's good at breaking down the numbers. He's been experienced with all this. So I think that's why it's good to contact David, because there's certain niches that realtors do. And I think that's one of them that you can kind of put that. And also Spanish
I'm going to
speaking.
contact you, David.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you mind if I give you a call?
Give me a call.
No habla español.
No joke. I'm going to text you after this.
No one speak Spanish.
Sandy, sell me, Sandy. How does somebody get a hold of you, Sandy?
My website.
Which is?
Or you just wait, and I will probably door knock you.
When it's 120.
Oh my God.
It
Hopefully
has
it
to
won't
be
be
120 or above, or
Yeah.
I'm not knocking your door.
No water, nothing. Just
Gives people like something to be excited for.
sandy.lvhomeexperts.com
Okay.
or at gmail.com.
Right. And so you're in the trenches all the time, too. You're always
Literally in the trenches.
all the time, right?
Just sweating in the
Sweating
trenches.
trenches.
Why is this my name now? I seriously don't know
I
how
walked
it
into
works.
this.
Can
I get
anyone
all-
like watching? Can you just help me like break out of this like thing I've created?
For the record, she's not
When
sweating
you get
at all.
home, do you have to
She's
immediately
I'm
take
not
off your shirt
sweating.
because you're
No.
sweating?
antiperspirant literally
You
on every inch of her
guys.
body. It looks like she's
I'm
not
not.
sweating at all.
I am not sweating right now.
Just
Sorry.
like,
I will be in 120 degrees
hey, she
coming
does
to
it.
your home.
Sandy
So
sweats.
if you see someone like very wet coming to your home, like
Wow.
uncomfortable,
Now, if you
like,
see footprints on the sidewalk,
that's me. I drop my marketing
Poor
material at your door. You just call me.
All right. Mr. Preston. What's up, buddy? So, hey, what do you do, man?
Literally, my bosses ask me every day. Every day. I'm in restaurant consulting. I love what I do. I love real estate. I love all sorts of markets.
You just love life.
I'm a big fan of living versus
Living
not.
his best life.
How does somebody contact you? How does somebody get a hold of you?
You throw some smoke signals up. You reach out to Dan French, and then you get a hold of me eventually, right?
Throw that email out there, man, or throw a website out there.
We don't need all that.
You don't need to do all that?
They know,
All right.
they know how to get a hold of you and get a hold of me. And
They'll
then
get a
you
hold of you.
commission
Well,
or,
yeah, I
you know,
mean, we're trying to promote
get
you,
at least
man.
a free
So
beer out of it, okay?
you get
All
a free
right.
beer
So,
out of it.
like, if you got some dirt you think is important and you want to drive through there,
You're with a
call
company called it's Lev Group, right?
Lev Restaurant.
Lev Restaurant Group.
So we have the coffee beans, we have the Jamba juices, we have several other chef-driven concepts, Golden Tiki, Evil Pie. We have all sorts all over town, varieties of stuff, Vegination, La Strega.
You do Vegination,
Oh my
huh?
God, I love
Absolutely,
that place.
Posto.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We do a lot of things, and I'm probably screwing some things up, pissing people off because I forgot some of them. Job burritos and lobster meat on the strip.
You're not accepting an award here.
He's like,
Today.
I have to mention all my sponsors.
I'd like to thank.
If Nike wants to take me away, I think you got a bigger budget. So
what you're saying is you're kind
Dan's
of a
my
big
agent.
deal.
Okay? Dan's my agent. Hit up Dan.
Hey, I want to say one thing, man. You didn't bring the Jamba Juice or the Tropical Cafe. What is it? The smoothie
I don't know.
card?
You make up whatever card I didn't bring you.
You didn't bring me the card,
that.
man. You were supposed to give that away.
So
And I had
Tropical smoothie?
Supposed
tropical
to.
smoothie.
I'd like to see that contract. You can speak to my legal about that because I don't think that.
No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna promote it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, listen, man. We're gonna have you back on couple weeks, right? And you guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, get a hold of these guys. They're all real estate agents and commercial real estate. And that's it, guys. We'll see you on Saturday. Thank you so much. If you have any comments, comment in the comment section. Also, hit that like button, and we'll see you at the next stream. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching an episode of the French Workbench Podcast. If you want to tune into past episodes, please subscribe to my channel now. Also, if you want to look at our audio-only options, we do have iTunes and SoundCloud.